Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back at it again, man. I'm going live for you boys once again, doing the YouTube thing, your stream thing. We're gonna have a recap of the debate that just happened on KO channel, and we're also gonna make some announcements today in regards to the bracket play that I've been talking about in regards to the KO World Series of Debates bracket. So what I'm about to do, man, I'm finna go ahead and send out this link. You dig? If you feel like you want to jump on, speak your piece, this is an open mic for anybody that wants to join the channel. We don't discriminate over here. You dig what I'm saying? We all about boxing. We all about fun, and we all about community. So give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and send out this link, man. We're gonna chop it up about this boxing. All right, man. We back. We back. I sent out the link. Okay. Uh, so we're gonna start off by talking about, obviously, we got the Devin Haney and Lomachenko fight coming up this weekend. Now, personally, in my own personal opinion, I know a lot of people have been giving their thoughts and stuff about this fight. Now, personally, I'm not going to pick a winner for this fight until I see the weigh in. I'm gonna be honest with you. I need to see how Haney looks. I need to see how Loma looks. And then at that particular point, I'll pick a winner of the fight. But as of now, I personally don't. I think it's a 50-50 fight, man. I don't really have a clear winner right now, but we'll see how that unfolds. But check this out, man. We got my man Zone Six. You know, I know him as Kendall. Boys out there in the A know him as Coach K. What you got for us, brother?
Oh
How you
man,
doing?
just chilling, man. Just making these rounds on the YouTube.
Okay, did you get a chance to check out the debate earlier?
Yeah, I saw the high school presentations.
And what you think about that?
I mean, dude, dude, 3-0 them. Um, I mean, I thought he had presented some great information about the Terrence Crawford Spence situation.
Hmm.
Dude had good references, good sources. They all checked out. He was naming codes and articles and breaking down everything. Broke down statistics, ConcuBox numbers to validate all his points. He broke down everything that's going on and why he thought that Terrence Crawford won or is not ducking. And a lot of the guys or the judges on there are just kind of ridiculous. It seems at this point, it seems like they just don't have enough knowledge, or they're so biased and they got preconceived notions that it ain't nothing you could say or anybody can say on there that's gonna sway their decisions. Um, yeah, that was my last time looking at that shit over there. I just wanted to check out one more time because they asked me to come over to the Apostles. Those are cool guys. But yeah, I won't be looking at that shit no more. Not the bracket, none of that shit. Because it's too much like a high school presentation. It's a PowerPoint. Cuz you can't interact with Cuz or really speak to him directly because he's not gonna really engage you like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that shit was overall it was trash. The whole platform is trash. The whole platform is just not where it needs to be considered a debate platform. Um, just to me, I don't see him lose his last 3 debates. I thought he lost clearly to me. I was able to get the nod out of that shit though. He lost to Wayne Talk to me 2-1, and this dude, I think, 3-0 him. I mean, I just don't see what the fuck the judge was just talking about. They was talking about everything that KO did well and critiquing old boy, but you know, KO don't do nothing but describe the debate. His rebuttal is, man, I don't know where y'all get this from. This is stupid. This is just like it's just bitchy. You know what I'm saying? You're not rebutting with no points. So it was 3-0 to me. He lost another debate, but officially he got denied. So I seen all I need to see off that shit.
Yeah, man, I thought homie did a great job in the first round, to be honest with you, man. I felt like he came from a different angle that I really hadn't seen expressed on YouTube. Obviously, this is a debate that's been had multiple times on multiple different platforms. Obviously, you had one in regards to with KO where you got the nod. Backdoor, my man tonight, Cam from the Apostles, he had one tonight. I thought his first round was good, man. He broke down a lot of things from a different perspective in regards to talking about the codes and the sections inside of the WBO, why he went the route that he went, basically just coming from it from a perspective of a lot of factual based things. You know, and I thought that was good. You understand what I'm saying? So I thought he did well, man. You know, I just think that, as you mentioned, is nothing that you can say on that particular channel that's going to convince the judges. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, the truth of the matter is those guys all share mostly the same opinions in regards to that particular situation. But for me, when I go over, I listen to what the debaters are talking about, obviously. And to me, even if I have my own opinion, I have to base my decision on a head-to-head matchup of these two guys, breaking it down from their perspectives and why they think one guy ducked the other guy, why one guy is better than the other guy, or, you know, why one guy has a better career than the other guy, right? So, again, man, I thought Buddy handled himself well on the platform. He didn't complain. You just got to know if you're going over there, it's gonna be hard to get the win, man. And that's just the bottom line. You know,
what was your number? What you gave it? 2-1, 3-0? What you gave it?
I gave it to Cam. I had Cam winning the first and the second round, and then I gave KO the last one.
The fuck y'all be looking for, man? Yeah, that's why that hypothetical shit did, man. The fuck.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's all about, you know, when you start breaking it down, and again, like you said, from a hypothetical standpoint, it's just all about hearing. I mean, because the last round was heavily opinion based, right? And I think when you break down stuff from a perspective of what key words or key points that you like or want to hear, that kind of steers you in that direction. You understand what I'm saying? It's all up for interpretation as well as just your own personal opinion about the fighters. So when you bring that element into a debate, if you're on a platform where they all share the same stance, it's just going to be hard to win. And I think more so the last round had more to do with the guy. I mean, he just all of the wind got knocked out of his sails in regards to, you know, losing the first round and then losing the second round. I mean, they 6-0'd them outside. Well, not 6-0'd them, but the only one was, pretty much. You know, he got a clean sweep again, right? You had one guy who voted for Cam on a couple of different occasions, but ultimately, man, it was a 3-0, man. What you got? Get the smoke. I got my boy Get the Smoke representing, you know, the Bay Area.
Whoop, whoop. What's up, people? How you doing?
I
remember your old man's from this neck. It was like from a couple years back. You told me.
Yeah, my old man. Yeah, he from around there, man. West Oakland all day. We don't play. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, that's
saying?
what's up. Yeah. Usually,
Yeah.
like Texas and Cali, they have a little bit of a rivalry, but that was like more when I was growing up. Seems like it's kind of dead now, but whatever. Yeah, this the debate series. That's what It's just the overall lack of sophistication as it being a judge, right? Like, what is it you're supposed to be doing? Is it just to push a message out there, to be on code, so to speak, or is it to judge who has the best arguments? And that is, for me, I think that's a process of just doing it a lot. Um, but yeah, the idea of like this being a biased fan, um, to me, that's another thing about your level of sophistication as a fight fan. Even so, you have two things happening at once: your sophistication as a judge, sophistication as a fight fan, like coming together in these debates. And which is like for me, like I was saying, like the approach I take to this whole thing is just for it to be entertaining and educational. Like the idea that um, like these are my peers is just like I don't know. I'm not feeling it, right? Like they might be there looking at something and judging whatever the hell they're judging, but like when it comes to like peerage, nah, is it? Yeah, sorry, like not for most of them. There's some people who are good, but writ large, like yeah, nah, there's too many novices.
Yeah, man. So let me ask you this right here. Get the smoke. Um, if you had an opportunity to go on that platform and debate, would you? And what would be some things that you would personally change or not change if you decided to go on to that platform? Because obviously, some people like the platform in the way that it's laid out. Obviously, we come from a different cloth. We are more so in a different lane than those guys. So it's not going to be as appealing to us, right? But if you were, because I know you are in a tournament, so you're going to be debating on this platform, and this is why I'm asking you. What is something that you like about it and don't like about it? Because you are in the World Series of Debates coming up on the 22nd of this month. So I just want to get your opinions about that before you get into the tournament. Obviously, how everything is laid out. I just want to know what's your opinions about the way the structure of the debate is designed.
Um, the structure it has something to do with the outcome, I think, but I think it also provides a pretty good framework for people who are at this level with their knowledge, right? So just kind of it's a double-edged sword when it comes to that particular thing. But I definitely know how you can manipulate the format in order to like raise issues when you're the last guy that hasn't been rebutted. So like it seems like your thing is the thing that has a winning argument, even though you didn't give the other person a chance to rebut. Like just like little shit like that, right? That is always good. And the judges not being like savvy enough to like point that kind of stuff out. Is I mean the thing that I find suboptimal. Like it's not like I like things or don't like the thing that I like about it is that someone is putting their energy and dedicating a vision for these kinds of exchanges between fans over topics. I think like that particular thing I came in it's funny, man, like it's fucking Boxing Librarian just put out a video in which he was lambasting me, and I forgot about this. But the reason why, like, I even know you guys is because of that fucking Boxing Librarian video. I like I'm not even gonna go into the backstory, but I like did the first video I actually put up on YouTube was a response to Boxing Librarian, and like EJ came on and said, "Oh yeah, I like the way you think. Come on to my platform," and I met you guys there. You know what I mean? And this has been like kind of on and popping since the EJ thing. And I like that kind of the exchange I had with Boxing Librarian was really a good one. He's still in his feelings because of how hard I fucking cooked his ass. He shouldn't have called Jack Johnson a duck. And then when you have your 10 best,
What do you call Jack Dempsey?
Boxing librarian, a good dude though. He a good dude.
Hey, listen, I'm not trying to excoriate his character. That's where he goes. Like, I don't give a damn
I
about
got
like
you,
whether or
man.
not
Nah,
he's
I got
kind
you.
to fucking strangers or walks old ladies across the
What did he
street.
say about
I'm
Jack
talking about his
Johnson?
boxing takes are dog shit.
What did he say about Jack Johnson?
He said he was a duck, and then like, okay, so then I killed him on that shit, and I was fucking seasoned up for that shit. And then he did this whole like 10 underrated boxers. Didn't have Tiger Flowers, no Kid Gavilan, no Joe Gans. He's just like fucking Maxie Rosenblum and Fixie Zivic and fucking Harry Greb. Dude, how is Harry Greb the most underrated? If you want to get the fuck out of here, anyway. Yeah. So I did a list on that, and then it kind of blew up from there. Like my interaction with him blew up from there. Then he tried to tell me about the fucking color line. This dude is across the fucking pond trying to tell Black Americans about the fucking color. Man, anyway, I'm the wrong guy for that. I'm the wrong guy for him. And anyway, but point being, that kind of debate and exchange, I dig. Like, I think that he is knowledgeable boxing librarian, right? It's just that he has a particular perspective and he's wedded to that shit. So whatever, that's his lane. That's how he sees the world. But the point being is, I like those. That is a debate to me. Like sitting there, like trying to, I don't know, like these guys and the narratives that the media's come up with and just chopping it up. It's cool for a certain level of boxing fan, and I think as a YTBC member, like as a community member, it's kind of necessary. You know, each one teach one. You have to bring up the next generation kind of stuff. But as a like I said, as a a debate amongst equals, they're not really there yet. Like this guy Southern T, right? I first met him when dude, like they try to tell me that like, oh, they were mad at me too. They called me a crazy old N-bomb, right? Because I said that judges don't use CompuBox to judge fights. There's like two different metrics.
Yeah,
like what CompuBox has going on and how you judge a fight. There's like two different things.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's absolutely right. So let me ask you this. Speaking of judging, let's kind of switch over to reffing. I know we all seen the fight this weekend between Rolly. What you guys what you guys think about the stoppage and Tony Weeks? I'll let my man Zone go first, and then Smoke, you can backdoor him after that, and then I'll give my opinions on it. What you got, Coach K?
I think he should just be tested, man. I mean, there was clearly an agenda there. He was looking to jump in. I mean, we don't seen this before. This ain't really that new, so we kind of know what the diagnosis is, right? Like it ain't really nothing to go into. It's typical stuff, pretty much. Hey man, this guy stopped it early, or there's some corruption or fishy behavior going on. What was the motive? Why? I mean, could it continued? The fight was just heating up. So why would you at least at minimum rob us of entertainment? I mean, dude already had scored a knockdown, so the points wasn't. It's not like a guy got knocked down like 3-4 times and we're in the ninth, and there's no way he could numerically come back and win the fight. I mean, the guy was actually doing good against Rolly and winning rounds, and he scored a knockdown. And what made it kind of pull closer was when Rolly got that bogus knockdown. And that don't need to be investigated. That's all that is. I mean, it's a botch. It's a botch.
So I'm gonna let you cook real quick. I'm gonna throw another one out there. Man, even with Rolly's knockdown, Barbosa's, he was winning on every single the scorecard, the official scorecard. He was winning. I mean, to me, that's just because I was waiting to see what the actual scorecards were before the stoppage. I was really concerned to see if everybody was in on the fix. You dig what I'm saying? And I ain't talking about the fix, the name of the show. I'm talking about the fix. You dig what I'm saying? So I was real confused, man, on the stoppage, obviously. And the scorecards, when the scorecards came in, I was more baffled. But get the Smoke. What's your opinions on that, man? How do you feel about Tony Weeks, the stoppage, how the fight went? Do you think Buddy got robbed of a victory, or at bare minimum a fair fight, man?
To me, this harkens back to the conversation I've been having with Zone for about a week or so about knockouts versus decisions, right? Not all decisions are the same, and not knockouts are the same. And that's why, to me, it's just kind of like, that's the false dichotomy. When I was saying you were like smuggling premises, like there's no way to answer the question is which one is better. That's just a personal preference question on its face. Yeah. When a knockout is spurious, like the one we just saw, how impressive is that? How is it impressive that Rolly stopped this guy? I don't think it's very impressive at all. I think if they didn't get stopped, that guy would have decisioned Rolly, and I think that would have been fine.
So did you have Barbosa winning?
I'm going through the thing. I'm like halfway through the fight. Um, so I'm gonna reserve my thing for later because I know everyone's like jumping on the whole thing, and yeah, I don't know. For me, it wasn't even so much about Barbosa versus Rolly as a competitive fight. Like I never thought Rolly could fight, so like him getting his ass handed to him by Methuselah is not that's not even like news to me, right? You know what I mean? I think like what he does with the belt is probably gonna be news. I think he's gonna be ducking and talking and a whole bunch of shit and trying to like get a pay-per-view numbers up, which I'm not. Whatever. It's neither here nor there. The dude can't fight. What do you expect? Um, yeah, I'm gonna watch the rest of it though, and then I'll like render my opinion on it. But like Rolly is not somebody that I really am inspired to watch or to talk about. Really, he has a personality in the 140-pound division. Has a bunch of dry dudes in there, so he can make some noise with his mouthpiece. But I mean, the dude just can't fight.
Yeah, man. For me, as far as the decision, I think the decision was terrible. I mean, I think the decision was to stop the fight. I think it was just absolutely horrific. Okay. With that being said, like my man Zone Six said, Tony Weeks need to be tested. You dig? I mean, he definitely needs to be tested because I don't know what homie was seeing. His eyesight need to be tested. His mind need to be tested. All of that because this guy literally stopped the fight, and the only punch that was landed was by Barbosa. So, I mean, look, man. At the end of the day, I think they robbed that man probably his only opportunity that he's going to have at his age to become a world champion. You understand what I'm saying? Um, he got put in a very good position against a not so good fighter in Rolly. And I think he came out and conducted himself well, and he was robbed uh, by the referee. And that's just unfortunate for him, but this is not the first time in boxing where we've been robbed, where guys have been robbed. And us as fans of boxing have been robbed of a competitive match. You understand what I'm saying? So, look, man, at the end of the day, uh, Rolly said he potentially wants a Tank Davis rematch. And I don't know what it is, but why the fuck would you call out Ryan Garcia coming off a fucking stoppage loss? I don't know what that's about. Is much more big fish in that division that you can fight against. Maybe Rolly's just trying to get a quick payday because he knows that his time is coming to a near end because he's just really not that good, man. He's really not that good, honestly. Um, Now, what I want to ask y'all is considering his outing and considering this was Tank Davis's last opponent, do you think that shines a good light on Tank, or do you think it's like, I don't know, it's just kind of hard to assess Tank? But because obviously Tank's last two opponents have been guys who really, technically, really ain't shit in the sport of boxing outside of just their antics and their popularity. But as far as what they represent inside of the ring is, I mean, it's just not that impactful or important or great. I'm gonna let Smoke get this one first, and then we'll follow up with my man Zone Six. What you got?
Yeah. Listen, I don't know what people have been talking about or what they're watching, but Tank's resume at 135 pounds is dog shit. Absolute dog shit. And Yeah, I mean, he's a good fighter and all that stuff, but I'm just the PT Barnum, like trying to like pump guys up and market them into being like actual threats. Um, I'm just kind of I'm over it. Like I want to see Tank show us, what he's made of. Like not just like these overmatched guys and for paydays because of like crossover audiences kind of stuff. Like I'm just not inspired by it. I'm happy for him that he's found a niche and he's like working it because hey, I can't knock the hustle. Can't knock that at all. You got to respect the young man's grind coming from where he came from to where he is now. Yeah, and boxing is littered with a bunch of great fighters that didn't do shit because of opportunity or the way they were moved or people didn't believe in him, whatever the hell. So like Tank is in a very privileged position. I like him in a bunch, but his resume at 135 is fucking atrocious. Yeah, I don't know if he cares about that. I don't know. Like, I'm of the opinion that, given the current state of boxing, he's probably going to get in the Hall of Fame anyway, fighting these dudes to the day he dies. So, I don't know. Just don't talk to me about his resume at 135. That's it.
Coach K, what you got on that, brother?
I agree with what Smoke saying. That's not a good example of a stoppage, though. That's just some whole different shit. The kind of stoppage I'm talking about is a earned stoppage in a physical heat of battle. Tank is Tank, man. It's time for these guys to really get in there and fight each other, man. Devin Haney and Lomo is doing it. So Tank got to step up and, after he get done with his probation, he need to, or house arrest or whatever the hell he on, he need to go ahead and get in there, man, with Shakur or the next person in line. I mean, we got to get these guys in here to fight. We already know that. That's obvious, right? But in addition to them fighting, like we just gotta wait and see, man, because I ain't getting too excited too fast about what these guys are doing because these guys are doing like even with Devin Haney and Shakur, not Shakur, but Devin Haney and Lomo, they supposed to be doing this. They're supposed to been done this. And like Shmo said, man, you start questioning these guys' resume, and then you're posing a good question. Like, man, after looking at Rolly, man, how good was fucking Rolly really? You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things, man, where this junk is getting kind of silly, and these guys need to get active and get busy.
Hey, man, look, I agree with you, man. These guys need to get active. They need to get busy. Something similar to like, I think the heavyweights are probably doing the best job at really kind of mixing it up. Obviously, in every division, there's going to be fights that we're going to want. Obviously, we want Fury and Usyk as soon as possible. But speaking of you saying how good a certain guy is, how good did you guys get to catch Janibek fight? Because I did. And he said some stuff before the fight in regards to certain fighters ducking him. He said Andrade ducked him. And he also said that Jamal Charlo ducked him as well. What do you got? What's your opinions on his performance? Obviously, it was a very short-lived performance for his opponent. But I think he conducted himself well inside the ring, man, and he showed real power and poise. And he got the stoppage. He was able to allow me to go over and catch the first round of the Rolly fight because he got the quick stoppage. So I give my opinions on what kind of fighter I think he is. Where does he stack up against the competition inside of the division, as well as a potential matchup with the potential winner of Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo if they can get this fight done at 160. I'm going to start with you this time, Zone 6. What you got on that Janibek action?
Janibek been looking good. I've been talking about him for the last few fights now. And I told you guys off the top, I said, now watch this guy. And I said, watch Andrade duck him for some reason. Next thing you know, we started getting him popping up at Canelo's press conference as opposed to dealing with this guy at 160, man. I knew it was going to be something. And Janibek moved forward and he got the belt. He's doing what it appears that's needed. And he's stopping people. He's galvanizing the crowd, galvanizing the boxing fans, calling and saying the right names. Let's see if he continue that good work. Andrade would have been a good match for him. I would have liked to see how Andrade handled that. I don't think he would have fared well from my opinion. But Jamal is an entirely different animal. Janabek might find itself stopped fucking with Maul. That's just what I see. But Maul also got to get active and knock off some of that rust because Janabek is one of them very, very sharp guys that could go in there and upset the apple cart, man. So those are my opinions and those are my thoughts. Hey, look, fellas, man, I'm finna get on out of here, man. It's been late. Shout out to Phil Walker. Shout out to Get Smoke. I'll be listening. I'm finna go on and take it down. All right, fellas.
Hey, hold on, Coach K. Hold on, Zone 6.
Yo.
Be on the lookout. I'm gonna make an announcement towards the back end of the show in regards to the pool play for the bracket. So I can get with you probably later on or tomorrow sometime and on the phone and kind of let you know about it. But if you can, go check the community page, boss. You'll see it on there.
Okay.
Bet.
Hold on, you saying dealing with that tournament?
Yes.
Man, I ain't fucking with that nigga shit. Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, you ain't gotta fuck with it, but you got an opportunity to put some cash in your pocket. So
man, them niggas shit, them niggas legit, man. I don't know who gonna win that shit. I can't. That shit fixed over there. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna predict that. I don't know how.
Hey man, look, hey, I got you, man. But hey, if you want to participate in it, that's fine. If not, it's all good.
All right, man. Y'all do your thing.
Yeah. All right, my man, get the smoke. What you got for me, boss?
Okay. What we talking about, man?
I was asking, did you get a chance to see the Janabek fight and him saying that?
I mean, as it was, I don't know, man.
Andrade ducked him. Who else ducked? He said Jamal ducked him. He said pretty much everybody in the 160-pound division ducked him. So
right. See, here's the thing. I'm over Top Rank's fucking this whole scapegoating thing where they don't have any inventory in the division, and so they start calling out guys that are not there to fight on Top Rank, and surprised that nobody's going over there. Now they're ducks because they don't go over to your network. All right, whatever, man. I would love to see a Charlo Janabek fight. I'd love to see that unification. I'd love to see the middleweight have a undisputed champion. I'm not mad at any of that stuff. But yeah, the Top Rank two-step like marketing thing where like everybody's a duck, I'm over it. I don't find it compelling anymore. Like the Bud thing was okay. The Loma thing, got kind of weird. And now they're doing it with Shakur. Now Janabek, man, get out of here with this, man.
So are you saying it's propaganda?
No, I'm saying that I'm saying it's diversion. They're trying to divert from the fact that they don't actually have inventory, and they also don't actually send their champions over to other organizations either. Right. So the whole thing is like Top Rank. My issue with Top Rank is just it's not whether or not they'll make the fight if it's in house. If they have all the belts and all all the players in house, yeah, they'll do that all day long. But if they don't have the person, what they'll do is try to scapegoat and try to vilify the other person. Right? They're ducking you for not like leaving their situation to come to your situation. That's what Shakur did with William Cepeda and Isaac Pitbull Cruz. It's what Bud has been doing with PBC dudes for forever. Loma did it with. Anyway, I'm just like I've seen this. It's a rerun. I'm just tired of it. It's very chewed bubblegum.
Yeah, nah, man. I understand you completely. Man, I don't know. I don't know because for the simple fact that I do, in a sense, think that Janabek was ducked by Andrade, though. I can't say that because, I mean, it would have been a cross promotion deal with Eddie and Top Rank, which I don't see Eddie having any issue with going work with Top Rank, and I don't think that Bob Arum has an issue going work with Eddie. I think the issue was Demetrius Andrade. And I think that because Demetrius Andrade moved the way in which he moved, this is why he's potentially struggling to get somebody to basically support his career. When I say support, I mean either a network or a promoter, right? Eddie Hearn went out on a limb and tried to get this guy potential fights, good fights, and he just wasn't able to do it. Now, when it comes to Janibek, obviously this guy isn't a big time name, right, as far as the public is concerned, but as a player within the division, Janibek is absolutely a player. You understand what I'm saying? Hence why he said that those guys were ducking him. Now, with him saying that these guys are ducking him, you still got Triple G that we don't know if he's going to retire or not. I don't have any idea what Triple G next move is. But I think him and Janibek are from the same part of the world, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, Smoke.
Janibek and Triple G?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's supposed to, I
so
think, from the same state. I think he's Kazakhstan. I mean, he doesn't have the Korean background, but yeah, I think they're both from the same spot.
Okay, so there you go. Those guys are from the same particular area. So I don't know how that's going to fare in regards to whether Triple G is going to stick around or not. I don't know how that's going to fare if ESPN is saying, I see an opportunity to potentially build this guy up. I mean, because look, let's be honest. When ESPN wants to put money behind you and they want to build you, and you have somebody like Bob Arum, somebody that's been in the sport for a tremendously long time, and has created a great foundation for so many fighters who went on to do great things in their career, even after they left them. I mean, I think they could probably push Janibek if they decide to, right? Obviously, the guy has massive power. He doesn't really speak English at all. That might be a knock against him. But if they start talking about them greenbacks, I'm pretty sure he'll pick up pick up a little bit of English, or at least enough to do a pre and a post fight interview. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I think that Janibek is a player in the division, and hopefully we can get a unification coming out of the division. But right now, Oscar De La Hoya has said that he wants Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo to fight, but he wants it to be at 160 pounds. What do you think about that, Smoke? And if they do fight, who do you got winning?
Charlo and Janibek? Man, listen.
Charlo right now is currently in negotiations with Golden Boy for a Jaime Munguia matchup.
Oh yeah, we heard that. We heard that before. I guess they figured Charlo's vulnerable now. He's been inactive, so now they want to put him in, or are they still like stipulation that he comes to the zone or something?
No, what they're saying is they want him to fight on at 160 is what they're saying.
No, I mean I get it to be for Charlo's title. I'm just saying this fight had already been offered before, and Oscar kiboshed it, saying that the zone needed to wet their beak. So is that still the case? Or now they just feel like Charlo is, vulnerable, so they're willing to go wherever to get Charlo's belt? Or is this just more like keeping Jaime Munguia's name in the press while he fights nobody? I mean, I'm interested. I'm interested to see what's happening.
Potentially both, right? I mean, right now, Charlo is definitely vulnerable, 110%. The guy hadn't fought in almost 2 years. Jaime Munguia has been active. I think he put out a pretty decent showing against Gabe Rosado. My only concern is how the last time, because he fought Gabe at 160, I believe. Was it 160 pounds? Or did he fight him at 68? I thought he fought him at 160.
Rosado, I know he fought one guy. I thought he fought the British dude at 168.
Okay, that's what I thought too. So he fought Rosado at 160 pounds. So he nearly passed out at the weigh-in. Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah. Right after the weigh-in, Jaime Munguia had to get water. They had to put fans on him because the guy literally almost fucking passed out after the weigh-in. But obviously, the night of the fight, he looked good. I think he put out a good showing. He didn't look very fatigued. But at the same time, I don't see how that's healthy, man. Even if you come out and you look good, if you doing your body so dirty to where it's fucking first thing in the morning and you're about to fucking pass out because you're trying to make weight. I don't know how that's good for your career or you in general. I think when he moved up to 68, that was the smartest fucking thing he could have did. But obviously, they willing to make that sacrifice against a guy like Jamal, who if he hits you in your fucking head and you ain't got enough fluid in that brain, he gonna rattle some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how healthy or safe that could be, man. What's your opinions on that?
Yeah, fighter safety is like huge for me. But this new era, like we're an attribute. If to be a professional boxer, in the 21st century, you must be able to cut weight and rehydrate to be huge. Yeah, that's just one of the things that is a requisite for competing these days. Like I can't tell which one is more overrated. One second.
Yeah, Smoke had to step away for a few
Yeah,
seconds.
sorry about
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
which one. Like there's what Munguia reminds me a lot of Navarrete. Like it just seems like he's just gigantic. Like it seems like his best wins are due to the fact that he is just so much bigger than his opposition. And then as soon as you get like a comparable size to him, even if a guy who can't really fight that well, very limited dude, he gives him give Navarrete all kinds of fits and starts, right? Um, Even at 2 years out of the ring, I think Charlo is too much for Jaime Munguia. Um, but to bring it all back down. And then the Janabek thing, maybe Andrade Buducta, maybe didn't. It seems to me that Andrade went over to Matchroom in order to get big fights and to get paydays. And nobody at the middleweight division or the super middleweight division fought each other. They all just fought Canelo, and everybody got the Canelo fight except for Andrade. And I think that's really what the whole thing is. He's looking for cash out fights, not like ducking Janabek. Like, what does Janabek do for him? I think he's trying to like retire. He's trying to get tens of millions of dollars and get the hell out of here. I don't think that's a duck thing. I just think that's where he is in his career. He's old as shit. It looks like he's going to shit. Like, yeah, he's got to. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let me say this, right? I think part of Andrade's problem is that his whole career has been looking out for cash out fights. That's part of the reason why he didn't fight Jamel Charlo so many years ago, right? He was supposed to fight against Jamel Charlo, pulled out the week before the fight because he said the money wasn't right. Then I forgot how much money he took from fucking Rock Nation. Um, Rock Nation paid him not to fight, basically. And then after they paid him, he came back later on and said, "Hey, they didn't give me all my money. Can I still get the fight?" Nah, motherfucker, we done moved on. I just think that, when it comes to him and the way he does his career, I just don't think he's a very smart guy. But I
So,
want to say,
you remember when Truck Simpson just had his fight, and like Devin Haney was trying to give him like $100 to come on and shit, and his mom and his dad came on like, no, the money wasn't right. We're gonna have to go for this thing. I've heard like horror stories from like fighters. I mean, talking about Hall of Famers.
yeah,
They get contracted for one price. They get there. They're trying to settle for pennies on the dollar beforehand, and now it's on you. Like, how badly do you want to fight? Kind of stuff. Like, man, guys been paying, promised 75K and then get $250. And I'm not necessarily like picking a side when it comes to that kind of thing. I will say though that his career seems to be snake bit. The whole like slick southpaw. I don't know why he thought people would want to fight him. And historically, those guys don't get fights, which is also I think going to be Shakur's issue too. Like, quiet as kept. But yeah, the Andrade, yeah, some of his is of his own doing, definitely. But some of it is just like, I mean, the Billy Joe Saunders fight. I don't even know what you say about that. I guess it's a culture difference, right? Culture clash. The way they do in the UK is a little bit different than how we do it.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, But yeah, the Canelo fight, yeah, how they didn't put the paperwork in fast enough. I don't even know Danny Jacobs. Like they just seemed to be allergic to each other. Like I said, the Matchroom situation where the zone had all the middleweights and super middleweights seemed to be a great move for Andrade, but nobody fought each other. Everybody just fought Canelo, and he was the last one that didn't get the fight. He's the only one who didn't get the fight.
Well, I mean, literally think about it though, right? If you're over there, you want to fight Canelo. I mean, that's probably going to be your highest payday, as well as the best opponent that you can match up against. So if I'm the zone, or if I'm a fighter that's fighting on the zone, or a fighter that works with the zone, and you guys are willing to bring me over, I'm already there, you goddamn right. I want Canelo.
But man, they were both, and he was a unified champ. That was the last belt for Undisputed 160.
Exactly.
He's like right there. So, Canelo said he wanted to be undisputed. Andrade is like, hey, here I am. They're both on the same network. None of that other stuff. And then Oscar De La Hoya didn't put in the paperwork fast enough. I think that's what they're saying. I guess he's just flake. I guess he's a flake. Like, yeah, I mean, I have heard stories from the top level guys who like to cross their T's and dot their I's that Oscar is not really a details oriented guy. He's not really hands on like that. So,
well, man, I can believe that Oscar's. I mean, look, let me tell you something. let's just call it what it is. Any fucking guy who lets Al Heyman and PBC and Leonard Ellaby, I mean, he literally poached every fucking fighter from Golden Boy. I mean, he did it. Any guy who allows that to happen or doesn't see that coming is a guy that doesn't pay attention. Fuck the details. He's not paying attention to any fucking thing. I mean, how the fuck can't you see this going on?
See, that's the thing. I don't think he poached them at all. I don't think any of those fighters wanted to be there. As a matter of fact, even the one guy who stayed, Canelo, talked about how the reason why he stayed there was loyalty, and then that bit him in the ass, that he should have fucking left when everybody else left.
Well, regardless, money talk, bullshit walk. I've gone to jobs every fucking day, or at least every shift that I was scheduled that I didn't want to be at because I was getting paid. You dig what I'm saying? I think those guys would have stayed if the money would have been right, or if they would have got promises that could have been kept along with the financial backing. I think those guys would have stayed, but fucking. I mean, Al got those deals, and he was fucking throwing money around like he wasn't shit. And those guys like, oh shit, I could have my own promotional company or shell company or whatever the fuck these people are calling it these days, and I can make, money in with that as well as a purse, as well as all this other shit Al got these guys involved with. I mean, it's really a no fucking brainer when you really think about it. But I don't see how Oscar didn't see this coming. And then Oscar tried to do the deal where he tried to sue him and saying he was blocking fights from happening and all this other kind of shit. That shit was a whole debacle. But at the end of the day, what it all boils down to is Oscar De La Hoya, very good fighter. Oscar De La Hoya, when he was on top, and he was as far as his promoting game, when his promoting game was on top, when he was doing his thing, I think he was doing well. But when it came to the ins and out, I mean, the ins and out of recent years, I don't think Oscar's been paying enough attention to getting good fighters as well as retaining fighters, man. I just don't think I don't think that's his play. But I will say this. He's not doing a terrible job with Jaime Munguia. He's not doing a terrible job with him.
I don't think he did a terrible job with Ryan either. Ryan is the one who pushed that fight. Like, Oscar was trying to get a couple more paydays out of him before he cashed him out. Ryan's the one who rushed to that ass whooping.
He did rush for that. I mean, honestly, you're right though, because Ryan had been calling Tank out for the fucking longest, man. And I think you're right. I think Oscar probably would have wanted to kind of.
He said that, like he had some other fights for him lined up. He's like, Ryan pushed it.
But I'm happy Ryan pushed it though. That just goes to show that the fighter really is ultimately in control of their career. A lot of these guys like to make it seem like, They put nah, man. If you say, man, fuck this, I want to fight this guy, then yeah, that's what they're gonna do. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen, I'm not mad at.
Because they work for the fighters. You understand what I'm saying? It's not the other way around, but a lot of people like to make it seem like it is though.
The issue, yes, they work for the fighters, but the fighters don't have the sophistication of these guys. Like these dudes are maneuvering people to the Hall of Fame, getting life-changing wealth, like money change, like family changing everything, wealth on the way. Like being maneuvered to guys that just like play to your strengths and can't exploit your weaknesses, kind of stuff. Like that's how these guys are working. Like, I'm not. I'm not mad at it as a theory, as a way to go. It's just at a certain point, I just recognize it for what it is. Like Oscar is one of the best in the business. Like there's a reason why Canelo wasn't fighting these guys who are movers, right, with fast feet, fast hands, and fast feet. For so long, right? I think there's a certain genius behind like, oh, I just forgot to file the paperwork. The problem though with that kind of like that scatterbrain genius thing is when you have guys who are like Swiss bankers like Richard Schaefer or like Harvard MBAs or in it for like passion projects and to make money. That's just not gonna cut it. It's not a cult of personality the way that he would like it. Like as far as the face of boxing goes, I think he took his responsibilities very seriously, and I love his vision for like putting his own stamp on the sport, like buying Ring Magazine, having the promotional card, having the great fights too, like where the fighters they cut out the middleman kind of stuff. Like he did. I love the Golden Boy, what Golden Boy had going on, but at the same time.
Yeah, because when they, like you just said, when they was on it, he was definitely on it for sure.
Yeah, I don't, and it's in a way that no other face of boxing did, in my opinion. Like, Sugar Ray Robinson wasn't out there buying KO magazine and shit, and like making sure that boxing is all good. Like, it's just, I liked. Actually, Knockout magazine might not have been there but Ring definitely was. It might have been harder to buy, but I think he still could have pulled it off. But Sugar Ray was making a lot of money. Anyway, point being, these guys know the business very well. They know the writers, they know the institution, they just know it in and out. So yeah, while you can go with the promoter works for me, chances are the promoter knows the landscape and where the bodies are buried and the names and all this stuff way better than any fighter.
Absolutely. Nah, I agree with that. But so with that being said though, look, I bring this question to you, right? Because I mean, technically speaking, it's a couple of different ways you can take your career, right? So if Get the Smoke is a fighter, right? An established fighter. Let's go with an established fighter. Who does Get the Smoke sign with? Do you sign with Eddie? Do you sign with Bob? Or do you sign with the PBC? Or are you just a freelancer? What do you do?
It really depends on the division. Like all these things are like siloed out. Like the last thing I want, like the Zone is the most undesirable, right? And that's just because of its reach, not because of Eddie Hearn or anything like that. It's just that it's a streaming service. It's a little bit ahead of its time, and they don't have the shoulder programming for American sports fans. So it's just kind of like if you like boxing and watching, like if you like supporting up and coming fighters, okay, cool. Now you can pay to watch up and coming fighters do a thing. But for the most part, the Zone, just because of its reach and it's a new kid on the block when it comes to the so to speak, that would be my least desirable place. But for me, like I said,
most desirable.
I think the holy grail about this whole thing in boxing is twofold: generational wealth, Hall of Fame. Maybe you can get into a conversation with a bunch of boxing nerds about being an ATG, but really, Hall of Fame is good enough. Like Hall of Fame is a metric; it's an objective metric, not a subjective one, right? So either you're in the Hall of Fame or you're not. Whether or not you're an ATG, like people can talk about all that shit till they blue in the face, but.
Yeah. So me personally, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with ESPN, like, and Bob Arum.
You can go wrong with them. You can go definitely. It just depends. Their inventory. That's the issue. If they have if they are deep in a class and you are one of the very best in that division, yeah, you'll get opportunity after opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But that is the case where in every single organization where they're just deep in a division. That's not like something special about Top Rank. What's special about Top Rank is they are uniquely positioned for the transition from broadcasting to streaming. They have the ESPN app; it's up and running. They have programming that the American sports fan has become accustomed to getting. Like they're the source for sports, so it's just kind of like boxing is one of the things that they do. I don't know. I think that ESPN because of it. Yeah.
So let me ask you this right here, right? So because we sent ESPN, right? So if you're a fighter like my man Shakur Stevenson right now, who's fighting at 135 pounds, when we go through the division, let's think about the guys that are at the top, right? So you got Haney, he's with ESPN as well, right?
Yep, but he's on his last fight apparently.
You're on his last fight, right? And before that, Haney was with DAZN. And then you have Lomachenko, who's obviously
Haney's been with everybody. Yeah, Haney's been with everybody.
I mean, I think Haney's gonna go wherever Haney needs to go to first and foremost build his legacy as well as get that bag. You dig what I'm saying? I think he's been. I like the way Haney moves because he went with Eddie. He got the fights that he needed to get. Then he switched jump ship, went over there with Bob, got the fights that he needed to get, and now he's going to be a free agent again. And we don't know where he may land. Considering the landscape of things, he's got a lot of options in front of him. So he could potentially land with just being a guy that's a freelancer and going to the highest bidder because you got Tank Davis, who is ultimately kind of a freelancer himself, But with that being said, let's think about somebody else that's in the division. You have obviously Tank. He's at 135. He's not with ESPN. He's not with DAZN.
If Devin leaves 135, right? If Devin beats Loma and leaves 135, then Shakur's run at 135 is probably going to be like unheralded, lackluster, unless he gets a Tank fight, which I don't see how that's going to happen. But cool. I mean, if he gets that, then all's well. But if he doesn't get the Tank fight,
you think it'll be lackluster? I mean, you still
because Top Rank doesn't have inventory, man. Like, what are they gonna give him? Like Jermaine Ortiz? Like, that's not gonna move the needle.
You still got Kambosos.
That's also not gonna move the needle.
I mean, but it's good fights though.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's not going to be the thing that propels him to superstardom. George Kambosos and Jermaine Ortiz, and like maybe a thrice beaten Lomachenko.
I mean, you got what's my boy name? Who's Martin signed with?
Which one?
Martin, Frank Martin. Who's he signed with?
Yeah, he's signed to Arrow. It's PBC.
Okay, so he's signed with PBC. Guy. And then what's your boy name? Shakur. That's homie. What's his name? Shakur's homeboy.
Keyshawn. Yeah, they said they're not gonna fight.
Yeah, Keyshawn Davis.
Yeah, he's on Top Rank, but they said they're not gonna fight. So.
He's on Top Rank, but he is with Top Rank though.
Yeah, they keep talking about how they won't fight each other though.
Yeah, they're not going to fight each other. He said that's like fighting literally his blood brother. But I mean, my point is that Top Rank does have some work at 135.
For fight fans, fine. But for Shakur, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, we can see those fights and they'll be like decent fights. They'll be okay. But like the way that he is being touted as like the best in the biz and all this stuff, like the way he is talking about himself, like he's better than everybody. Kambosos and Jermaine Ortiz are not going to cut it. And old, possibly thrice beaten Loma. Nakatani, they're going to recycle that guy. Comey already went into 140.
Yeah, I was going to say Comey already gotten the win. I think, didn't Comey lose his last fight too?
Yeah, I thought he went. But was he fighting Pedraza? I don't know. It was like a actor. I think he eked it out if it was against Pedraza, but I can't remember.
Okay.
Comey has not been.
I know his last fight was either he lost it or was extremely close. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, my
But yeah,
man's their claim to fame to me is still Ray Beltran and getting knocked out by T.O. So it's kind of like,
yeah, T.O. Man, so let me ask you this right. So T.O., Josh Taylor, what I mean, oh, Lisa said Ramirez beat Comey. That's what it was.
oh, Ramirez. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Ramirez beat Comey. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you. Hey, shout out to Lisa always dropping that fire in the comment
Lisa.
section.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Boxing
the last
fans.
loss.
Yeah, we
That's
love
right.
the boxing fans. Love the hardcore guy.
I thought he lost. I thought he lost to somebody since T.O. So it was Ramirez. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you know what? Speaking of that, Stanionis is supposed to be fighting against Ortiz.
They remade that fight?
Yeah, I think they say they cleared Ortiz to fight in June or July, and Stanionis is up next to get that fight. Now, personally, I like Stanionis. You know, I don't know how you feel about Stanionis, but man, he's been having a hell of a time just getting a fight. He's been getting fights, but they keep getting canceled for whatever reason. I don't know what the deal is with him and
what
and how they're moving him, but
really, man, after the quarantine dollars but being paid to not work is addictive. Hey, who the hell wants that shit to stop? That's what Stanionis is doing.
Yeah, everybody gonna that wave right there, boy. God damn.
That's Stanionis, like in a nutshell. That dude is getting step aside. He might be paid more to fight than actually to get in the ring with people.
Well, he did
getting paid to not fight.
So he got paid to step aside for the Earl and the what's the Cuban cat?
Ugas, but he already also got step aside money for Ugas to fight Pacquiao.
Yeah, exactly. So he got step aside money twice.
Yes.
But see, even with that step aside money, he had a fight with Ortiz, and I forgot with somebody else who he was supposed to have a fight with before Ortiz, and both of those fights got canceled.
Yeah, I mean, one was him getting injured. One is Ortiz getting injured. Stanionis, okay, let me just put it in a nutshell. I think I like him. He's got a lot of heart. He's not going to give up. A lot of willpower. He's just kind of a limited guy. That dude.
Oh yeah,
he hasn't seen he hasn't seen a body shot. He hasn't figured out how to get away with a body shot at all. That dude, he's a body shot magnet. I think Butayev, if it wasn't Ramadan, I felt like Butayev came out like just energy drained, all that stuff. But I think Butayev would have beat him like if it wasn't for the Ramadan thing. But that's just the speculation that I have. Stanionis is all right. He's not the enemy or anything like that. He's just not like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like I feel like for a diehard fan, we should talk about him more than Rolly.
Absolutely. I mean, I mean, this dude is actually a good fighter. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he's an all business kind of fighter for sure.
Yeah, like, as limited as he is, he can fight. Like Rolly can fight. Like, he's just whatever. Yeah. So I'm not like mad at Stanionis particularly. It's just that I don't think he's very good at the end of the day.
So who you have winning him and Ortiz?
I think Ortiz is gonna that's his wheelhouse. Ortiz, I have questions about his chin.
Hey, I've been riding with Stanionis, man, for a while. I seen Ortiz fight what's my man name?
Hooks?
No,
that's Cody Crowley. I seen that McKenzie. Say again?
I seen him fight Kavalauskas in Dallas.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I went to that fight.
Okay.
I'm a roll with Stanionis on this one. But these guys, let me say this right here. These guys are fighting at the perfect time because, I mean, really, this division has been extremely lackluster for a while now. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that Stanionis and Ortiz is a good fight for the division because both of these two guys are young and both of these guys are really just kind of sitting down there at the bottom waiting to get a title shot. Obviously, Stanionis has got paid step aside money twice. as you just mentioned. But even if you get paid step aside money, I think taking a fight with a guy like Ortiz is very important for your career because it's gonna tell you exactly where you're gonna be at in years to come. You understand what I'm saying? And potentially, if you beat Ortiz, that's gonna put you in even a better position to fight. Hopefully the winner
Yeah.
or somebody enforces a fucking mandatory between one of those two guys at the top. I'm not going to mention their names because I'm fucking tired of talking about them. They just need to fight one another and stop with the bullshit. But what you think about that? I think this is the time for those guys to fight.
Yeah, so Stanionis reminds me of Tank's opponents, right? Like they like to keep it long, but don't have the footwork to do so. And aren't because he has those long arms, he likes to keep to the end of stuff, but can't really maintain his distance with his feet or like keep you honest with his power. The fight's gonna be in a phone booth, and I think Ortiz is gonna eat him up. And ribs, he's gonna have rib sandwiches, like 12 rounds of that stuff. Like, like he's gonna be right in the pocket where he can do the most damage. And Stanionis, like Stanionis is, his hope is to keep that shit long, and that's just not how Ortiz fights.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. We're gonna have to see how this thing gonna shape up, man. Let me just give a shout out to people in the chat first, real quick, man. Just everybody came through to support me. Obviously, Smoke, you in here, you chopping up with me, my man Hyplo. Hyplo went live last night. Get the Smoke. Did you get a chance to get on there?
No, but I did see him. I shouted him out. Like, man, I haven't seen that dude. Like, he put out videos. Man, I used to watch his videos maybe 3-4 years ago. The Greeks and all this other stuff. I like his channel. I've liked Hyplo on his channel forever. That was cool to see that he was live.
Yeah, next time Hyplo go live, man, I'm gonna have to jump in and jump on it. I wanted to listen in. I'm pretty positive I'm sub to him. So next time he go live, I'm definitely gonna jump in and chop it up with Hyplo because that's not something that he always does. Man, the round table, man, we all trying to make sure we make our rounds now, man, put our face out there, put our content out there, let people know that, we here and we trying to do our thing, man. All right. Lisa always coming through, showing support. My man Coach K was up here on the panel earlier, giving his thoughts about these certain situations going on. Champ Ross, the creator of the Boxing Prediction League, you know what I'm saying? Salute to him. Let me see. You got my man L Dub. L Dub was at the fight this weekend. Everybody go to his page. Make sure you subscribe to L Dub and make sure you subscribe to Hyplo too and Champ Ross. I don't know if Champ Ross has a channel. Oh yeah, Champ Ross does have a channel. So make sure you go and sub to Champ Ross channel.
Wait, Champ Ross has a channel? What the hell?
I think so, man. I think Champ Ross does
put
have
the
a
link
channel.
in there, man. I thought he was just doing like Facebook's prediction league stuff.
Oh, it might be okay. It might be Facebook then. What I'm thinking about. Okay, because I know he has some content and stuff like that about the prediction league. I want to say, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. L Dub, y'all go and sub to L Dub Boxing. Who else we got in there? That's pretty much it for right now. Yeah, man. So, all right. So let me check this out, man. Just real quick. Did I ask you who you picking out of the Haney and Loma fight?
You didn't. You were talking about it earlier, and I just put my response in the chat when I was in the chat.
Okay, well, give me. I want your opinions about this because obviously everybody's talking about it on YouTube. So we're gonna run through it. I don't like to spend too much time on it because I don't want the content to be redundant. That's why I brought up the Stanionis, the Ortiz, that stuff right there, and even Deontay Wilder's supposed to be fighting against Anthony Joshua in December or some shit like that. So
for me, going into the year, like at the end of the year, I was looking at the landscape of 2023, and I came away with that the 35 and the 40-pound divisions are going to be basically dominating the conversation.
Absolutely.
And so far, a little less than halfway through, it seems like I had my finger on the pulse. This fight is a historic one. I'm still trying to get out there actually for it. I got to move some stuff around. But anyway, I think, but without seeing him on the scales, I got it a majority decision for Haney.
Okay, majority without seeing him on the scales.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why? Because I'm gonna ask you why would the scales matter, and how would that change your opinion based on how they look on the scales?
Yeah. So if the last time we saw him on the scales, he looked atrocious. Right. So
Haney, right? Not
yeah,
Lomas.
Haney. Yes,
Okay.
Haney. And so that is just going to be a question and concern going in. The dude is, it seems like he's outgrown the weight and is just like killing himself for big fights. Because of where he also is in his development. I think those guys at 140 pounds are whole loads, grown men, been through wars, all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't know. Yeah, he's still developing. He's still becoming the fighter he's going to be, I think. Where a lot of those guys at 140, they are the fighters they're going to be. Right? So yeah, I get it. I do think that I think that he is probably better if he wasn't at 135, like you were saying. It's not just the drainage; it's just like where your mental is, your energy level. Like, I bet in the gym when he's fighting above his, his weight, he's like cracking. Yeah, I bet there's a lot more pop in his shots. There's probably more spring in his step. He's probably a little bit faster. All that stuff. It's just the energy level. But yeah, I got majority decision without seeing him on the scale. If he looks like how he did against Kambosos on the scale, I might switch that to a split decision. But if he's looking good,
you got Haney winning regardless. You just think it'll be tougher if you feel like he may be depleted in some fashion on fight night.
I think that's it.
Okay.
It's like I don't think he'll be at his best, right? I don't think 135 is going to be the best version of Devin Haney. But I think this version of Devin Haney is enough to get two judges.
Okay, so let me ask you this right here, right? Because obviously I've already said I'm gonna give my prediction on probably the day of the fight. I'll probably put it in the community page. And look, if you hadn't checked the community page, go to the Fix community page. You got an announcement on there. I'm gonna talk about it later on, towards the end of the live stream. But go to the community page and you'll see something on there. Hopefully you guys like that. Hopefully you guys participate in that. We'll see how that goes. With that being said, though, I'm gonna give my opinions, but let me ask you this right here. Who has more pressure on them right now? Because, you got Lomachenko, who's kind of on the back end, right? Who is potentially on the back end, right? And his whole MO has been becoming undisputed at some point in time during his career. And you got Haney, who's the new live and vibrant young African-American fundamental fighter, right? Who do you think has more pressure on them in this particular fight? And answer this for me, because I don't know. Is it a rematch clause involved in this fight?
This is also, this has a high stakes for both guys. I don't know that it's kind of 6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other, really. This is also Devin Haney's first pay-per-view and Loma's first pay-per-view, but he hasn't really been tripping off that. But it's his first fight home, like, Vegas, since, as a headliner and the thing. Like, there's a lot of pressure. And Devin Haney's a self-promoted guy. So this has tremendous business implications for him, not just like the outcome of the fight. Yeah, I think Devin Haney's feeling the pressure. I think Loma's feeling the pressure. Like you said, Loma, this is the culmination of a career goal, right? If he's ever going, this is the first time this dude's ever fought for undisputed.
Yeah,
and this
which is surprising, right?
Yeah. And this has been a stated goal of his from jump, right? So just kind of yeah, both of these guys, the stakes are very high. Both guys, I think, are really invested in it. If Loma wins this fight, Shakur Stevenson can breathe a sigh of relief because now he gets the Loma fight. right? But yeah, if Devin wins,
Nah, I'm with you on that.
yeah, if Devin wins, what's just gonna happen with Shakur? Like Shakur's run at 135 is probably gonna be, I don't know, kind of mediocre.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, honestly, with Shakur, he's in one of those positions where he just got to keep winning, man, and eventually he'll get his shot, right? But I don't know, man. I'm gonna give my prediction, man, but I think the weight, how Devin Haney looks on the scale, is going to tell me a lot. I don't think Haney has a problem with making weight or anything like that, but I don't know what drastic of measures he may be taking to get down below 135. Obviously, he's not a real. He's a bigger guy for the division. Let me say that right there. He's not a big guy, but he's a bigger guy for the division. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think if the guy can make the weight, I think he'd probably be strong, just like he was in the Kambosos fight. He was strong. But with that being said, I do think Lomachenko is the kind of guy that you probably need to be at least 90% of yourself to go in there and beat the guy. I don't know if 85% Devin Haney can beat Lomachenko. I just don't know. I don't see it happening, Smoke. I think Lomachenko is too good. I think it's a 50-50 fight, honestly. And I think if you are any version of yourself that's not 100%, it may put you at some kind of disadvantage during this fight.
I mean, I while I can agree to that to a large extent, two things are working against Loma in this fight. One is his extensive amateur career. It becomes a double-edged sword when it becomes 12-round fighters. These guys don't fight all 3 minutes of all 12 rounds. We've seen Loma. We've seen all kinds of like justifications about how this dude doesn't fight all 3 minutes of all 12 rounds. Like he's downloading information, he's the Matrix, and turn it out. All this like weird stuff that they talk about. But anyway, point being, he's probably going to be down, and his short arms. Like the guy is a mid-range rhythm and pattern fighter. So yeah, like anything, if this fight takes place at close range, Loma wins this fight likely. At distance, Devin wins this fight likely. To me, the intrigue of the fight is at mid range. That's where the actual fight will be happening. And yeah, how he looks on the scale can definitely affect that. But I think that he's just he's just young, right? That's what the kids have in spades: stamina, energy, right?
Yeah, no,
I think that dude is. I think Devin Haney, like even though he'll be drained and won't be like the best version of himself. Like 24. There's just nothing like being 24.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. But that's kind of one of those things, we just gonna have to see it on fight night. You understand what I'm saying? But man, outside of that, man, I think congratulations to Janabek, who just fought this weekend. Congratulations to Rolly, who just fought this weekend, who I don't think deserved the win. I think they should have let the fight go 12 rounds. I think Tony Weeks is full of shit. And he fucked the guy who honestly is probably going to get his only opportunity to become a world champion at 40 years old. You understand what I'm saying? That's unfortunate for him. Outside of that, man, hopefully we can get this Charlo and Munguia fight going. That's what I want to see. And man, hopefully we can unify 160 pounds at some fucking point in the future, man.
Wow. It's so weird, right? Like the oldest division in boxing.
It's ridiculous. I don't know what the fuck is going on at 160. It's oh my God, man.
They talk about 147 to prima donnas. Yeah.
Man, and what's so bad about that 160 is, and what's so bad about these divisions is 147, 160. These are your classic, original
killers.
divisions.
Absolute killers. throughout history. Murder, like
Exactly.
these dudes, like wow, they've been putting in the work. And yeah, I don't know. This is prima donnas. At least at 147, it's like kind of the clear number one and number two fighting, which I don't even know who the number one and number two is at 160.
Nah, we don't, dude. We barely even know who the fuck fighting at 160. We don't know if Charlo gonna fight at 160 or 68. We don't know if Munguia gonna fight at 160 or 168. Obviously, Laura is finna fight fucking Danny Garcia at a catch weight of like 156 or some shit like that, 157. Man, I don't know what the fuck is going on in that division, man. And why the fuck is Danny Garcia fighting at 160 pounds?
Belt, 3 division champ. Historic division. He's going for that Hall of Fame and that payday. That's what I'm trying to tell. Like, I'm not mad at these dudes. Like, if Danny gets in to the Hall of Fame and he gets paid for going up to 160 and knocking off old man Lara, it's boxing's a meritocracy. You're not supposed to just pass up fights just because a guy's old and shit. That's what I didn't like about Dylan White's thing with Luis Ortiz. You don't like not fight guys because they're old. You're supposed to go knock his old ass out.
Yeah, make him be like, I need to retire. Yeah, you know what? He was right. I am old. He stopped the fuck out of me. No, I agree with you, man. I just don't know why Danny Garcia is going up. Dude, this is the thing right here. If he does potentially get a belt at 160, dude, the killers at 160 are going to fucking destroy Danny Garcia, bro.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not saying that. I
he's gonna
don't think he's gonna compete. I don't think he's out for the business though. I don't think Danny Garcia is about to be around here like competing at 160. I think this is like a, you know, it's a belt grab, the cash out. He might get another like a good fight, but at 160, the money is kind of gone now with Canelo leaving and these guys not having established their own market share. Like Charlo's had the one pay-per-view, and I don't know, like Fox, they did some shows on Fox that did really good numbers, and then they did the Showtime pay-per-view, and they haven't been on pay-per-view since. I'm assuming that didn't do well.
If Janabek is smart, he'll go after the winner of that fight. Because obviously those guys are not leaving out of the division. I don't see Lara moving out of 160 no time soon.
But I say go after those guys, what would that look like?
Man, it looked like he's trying to unify the division.
No, I'm just saying, like, what would it look like that he's doing? Like, would he be going over to Showtime, or does everyone have to come to Janabek because like he's being ducked, even though he's fought absolutely nobody?
Man, look, I tell you what, Al Heyman is not going to mind letting Lara go over there and let ESPN pay for that fight. He's going to be like, Lara, yeah, go ahead. Or Danny, yeah, go ahead, go over there and fight Janabek.
Yeah, I mean, bro, okay, yeah, I mean, did you see that?
Al will save money by doing it. He will let fighters like that go over to another network and do that thing. I don't think
it's just that Bob Arum will pinch a penny to the eagle screams. Like, is he going to pay for Danny Garcia to defeat the Janabek?
With Al.
No, I'm just saying, like, is he going to pay the freight for that belt? Like, it seems like probably not. He might. I don't know. Bob is notoriously chintzy.
Yeah, we'll have to see, man. But if I'm Janabek, I am like, Bob, do whatever you got to do to make the fucking fight. I'm trying to become unified. Give me Danny, the winner out of Danny, and Lara.
So Bud couldn't get Danny, but Janabek can. I don't know. It seems like far fetched to me. I think the PBC has some middleweight that they can, that Danny might be able to cash out with, and they probably Charlo.
That was because Danny didn't want to fight against Bud, though.
No, it's because Danny had another fight. Anyway, I'm not even doing the top ring 2-step right now. I'm not. His thing is just. I'm just like the whole plausible deniability. Like, wow, we see what you're doing.
The Earl Spence fight, huh?
Say again.
He fought Earl Spence.
No, he fought like Colazzo or something. Whatever. It didn't matter. Like he had a fight already signed, and they did a thing. That was during the Amir Khan. I want to say.
You talking about way before?
Yeah, like how Amir Khan got the fight. They sent an offer to Danny Garcia, but they wind up being Amir Khan because Danny Garcia had a fight, and it was kind of a weird number and whatever.
Okay, yeah, they also tried to get the fight with Danny again at 147, but he ended up fighting Spence though.
No, this was at 147. But Spence fight happened. What? The
That was
Spence
Spence
fight?
last fight.
No, not Ugas was Spence last fight.
Oh yeah, that was excuse me, that was a fight before Uga's fight. Yeah.
Yeah. That was him coming off the car accident, the Danny Garcia fight.
Yeah.
And he said he wouldn't.
And he
It
styled
was
on him, by the way. He styled on Danny.
Yeah, Danny had his moments. He definitely made Earl make a business decision. That's actually the worst version of Errol Spence I've seen. Is the Danny Garcia fight. That's when, because I used to have Earl stopping Bud. Then after that Danny Garcia fight, I'm like, nah, that's not gonna happen. That ship sailed.
Nah.
I still think he outworks him if he can take Bud's punch, but if he can't take Bud's punch, it's gonna land. That's gonna be good night, Irene. That's gonna be over.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a puncher's chance thing. It's kind of weird to say that Terrence Crawford has a puncher's chance against people, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's absolutely weird chance. But look, man, check this out, man. We're gonna wrap up the debate. I mean, we're gonna wrap up this right here, man. We already discussed the debate from earlier. Now we're gonna talk about the World Series of debates, KO World Series of debates. Get the smoke.
Yeah.
You in the competition, right?
I am.
Or what's your what day do you compete?
I'm on
and
the
who are you going against?
23rd or the 24th, and I'm going up against Southern T. I think he's a fine young man. Like him a lot. But we're just not on the same level when it comes to like debating or boxing knowledge or anything like that. So,
okay, now
you know, I just
then we gonna see now, cause
no, I mean we'll see it. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I get it. I'm just saying.
Oh, Smoke. I'm riding with you regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the judge's nods. Like, so that guy debated he judged one of my debates early on in the knockout thing, and it's just like, yo, that was such a shit show. They had to change how judges. They had to change the whole thing about judges after that debate. Like, this dude is just not. I mean, he's a cool guy. Like, this is no slight to him at whatsoever. We're just not on the same level with this stuff. But it is that, it's in the judge's hands.
All right, so let me ask you this, right, because we got a couple of cats that's either associated or in the round table that's competing in the KO World Series of debates. Get the smoke. We got you, obviously. We got Wayne Talk, Boxing Talk. He's also competing, and then we got King G, Boxingologist. He's also in the debate, right? So the debate series. So I mean, look, check this out, man. It's 31 participants. Obviously, I think one of our guys should probably come out and be victorious. But my question for you is, are you going to fill out a bracket for the tournament to participate in the World Series, the KO World Series of debates pool bracket play that I've set up on my community page?
Hold up. Sorry, ask that question again.
Hey, look, check this out. So you ain't heard about it. So what I've done is I've created a pool play with the bracket. It's gonna be a cash prize. Let me see if I can go to I don't know if I can share my screen. So I may be able to share my screen. Nah, I can't share my screen. But this is what I suggest you do. You can go to the community page, and it's got all the rules and everything on there. But while I got you on here, I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you what we got going on. Obviously, it's a bracket. KO posted it on his page. Okay, so if you get a chance, go to KO's page. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to him. All that good stuff. But per bracket, what I'm doing is I'm having a pool play. And basically how this works is you're going to fill out the bracket, and the person who has the most points accumulated at the end of the bracket in picking the winners all the way up until the championship round, and picking a winner, you're going to win a cash prize. So round one, if you guess round one right, that's 1 point. Round two, 2 points. Then, obviously 3 points, 4 points, 5 points. And then up into the sixth round, which would be the last round, it's a championship round. Whoever guesses that one right, you get 10 points. So you fill out your bracket, who you think's going to win it, either from the north or the south side. I don't know what side of the bracket you on, Smoke. Obviously, if you do fill out a bracket, obviously you got to have yourself in the championship against whoever's on the other side of that bracket who you think is going to be victorious. So what we're doing is you can email me the bracket with it already filled out, obviously. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tally up the points. And once I tally up the points, I'll see who has the most points at the end of the bracket. And that's the person who wins the prize.
Yeah, there's some good guys in the deal, right? I wasn't going to join, but Knockout was on my bumper for days. Yeah, he sold me on the idea of it being an annual thing, and I don't know, whatever. It's the inaugural, I guess, series of an annual event. And I was like,
and
that's kind of cool.
The pool play is the first annual pool play of the event. I'm a gambler, so I figured I'd bring some gambling to YouTube. Some honest gambling amongst the community, get the community involved. But obviously, we got the rules and everything on the community page. One is if you're a judge, you cannot fill out a bracket because you can influence winners and losers. If you fill out a bracket, you have to obviously subscribe to my page. I want to get my subscribers up. I want to get the community involved. I want you guys to come to the channel and parlay with me, get the smoke. Coach K, Wayne, L-Dub, Lisa, everybody, Hype Low, Ryan Clark, everybody that I like to parlay with, man. Everybody's welcome over here. Outside of that, man, you got to turn it in, obviously, by the 21st because I need all the brackets before the actual tournament starts. And besides that, man, just have fun with it, man. The rules and everything, the point system, all of that is on the community page. So if you get a chance, go to my community page and check it out, man. It's free money.
So check it out.
It's free money. Go to KO page, look at the bracket, fill the bracket out, who you think is going to win win the championship or win the tournament. And if you pick the closest bracket, then you win. That's it. And you get free money.
I like free money.
Exactly. And guess what, man? If one person fill out the bracket, then I'm going to just send you the money. You ain't got to get one thing right on it. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, I got to manage this. So it's 45 participants. It's limited to 45 participants because obviously I have to manage all these brackets, add up all these points, and I got a real job, y'all. And I have a bunch of businesses. So I really can't be, doing 100 brackets or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I limited to 45. I think I can manage that along with the other stuff that I have going on in my life. Yeah, man, if you get time, fill it out. If you don't, you're losing out on money. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. It's free money. That's it. Free money, man. You ain't got to debate nobody. You can have your goddamn dog pick the winners and you just write them in. It's free money. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna rock it like that right there, man. Get the smoke. You got any words for us on the way out the door, boss?
Right. On the bracket. So yeah, I'm debating good brother Southern T, and the subject is Charlo and Andrade. And I have to argue for Andrade. You don't get the questions, right? You only get the guys that you'll be debating and which side you're debating on. So is
it Maul or Mil Charlo?
Maul, yeah, Maul and Andrade.
That's about the most bullshit. What y'all gonna say about it? These motherfuckers ain't even fight. Well, Andrade just had a fight where he got dropped.
I mean, listen, hey, don't give it away. Don't give it away. I was less than enthused.
Honestly, I can't say it is a fair comparison right now.
Yeah, I was just not enthused about it too. Like you just talk about like wasted potential, right?
Unrecognized. I just think it's gonna be it's gonna be a lackluster debate, but it is a fair debate. These guys are very close in a lot of things. So I won't give that up or whatnot. But
Yeah, it's just that like I would just if I was going to be choosing someone to argue for, it wouldn't be Demetrius Andrade.
yeah, that's kind of screwed up, man. I talked to a boxologist today, King G boxologist. He is uh the first competitor on the first day. So he has the first debate in the whole series. And he's doing Bivol and Beterbiev or Beterbiev or whatever people want to call him. And he got Bivol. No, I'm lying. He got Beterbiev, excuse me.
Okay, yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, that's yeah, that work. That's a little bit. Yeah, mine is a little bit more fair, but even still, like I don't know.
Yeah. I told him, man, shit, you better, man, you kind of got the, you know what I'm saying? The sun kind of shined on you with that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. Like Beterbiev, yeah, that's a real easy. That argument makes itself. Like, really. Yeah, anyway, but you don't get the question, so you have to do all the research and then you find out some stuff. But what I didn't know is that I was happy because at first I was like, what the hell? I don't want to talk about this dude. No. But then, like, doing just like the cursory research, found out they're in talks for a fight. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why it came up, because they're talking about fighting, so whatever. It's like it's like Champ Ross Prediction League. Like you it'll be a bunch of names that you didn't hear of or cards you've never like considered watching or something, so like a Russian card. But then once you get into it, like you it opens up your mind to a whole bunch of like, fighters who might be up and coming, fights you wouldn't even think about, all this stuff, and just like sort of sensitizes you to like the global nature of the sport and how often we have cards. Like, in the YTBC, we get spoiled on just the big fights or like championship fights, but there's all kinds of fights that are happening all the time.
Yeah, man, I recommend anybody that is not in the Champ Ross Prediction League to go get in the Champ Ross Prediction League, because let me tell you something. What that league does is, like my man Get the Smoke just mentioned, it opens you up to boxing on a different level because it's cards going on all over the world. You dig what I'm saying? And this introduces you into fighters that you wouldn't traditionally or typically have a chance to watch or even keep up with. I was fortunate enough to participate in the league in two times, 2 years I participated in the league. I haven't been in it the last couple of years because I've just been super busy, but this is what I will tell you, man. It's fun. It's very, very organized. People have a great time doing it. And, you learn about these boxers, man, that you typically wouldn't learn about or even hear about, right? And you can follow their career, see how they're doing. It's great if you want to use this in a debate platform, because you can bring up all these different guys. I mean, it's just an excellent tool to have to add to your knowledge of the overall sport and just be in tune with the overall sport, man, because it does put a different perspective on boxing, because, here in the States, we just, again, like Get the Smoke just said, we just pay attention to the main cards and the main guys. And this definitely brings you all the way outside of that realm with the Prediction League.
Yeah, and not to toot my own horn, but I am the season 8 winner of Champs Ross's Prediction League.
Okay, all right.
And
now you're not tooting your own horn, man. You just keeping it real. You just telling them. You just telling them the story, man. How the facts go.
I'm trying to collect these ribbons, man. Like, listen, it wasn't my first. I wasn't champing at the bit to get into the KO debate series, but now that I'm in it to win it. I'm trying to get the crown. I mean, I understand that it's very. I don't know. It's whatever. There's a level of like
Get the Smoke is also the champion in on the round table, the debate champ, the single belt debate champion. Get the Smoke is also the champion in the round table league. Just giving y'all a heads up.
Yeah, I like to. Yes, I definitely like to to collect my ribbons and my trophies and like, the titles. It's cool. But like at the same time, it's just like fun chopping it up the subjects in an entertaining manner. Like I just I really like doing this stuff. There's a level of like gimmickry with the KO series, just because they're not necessarily topics that you would choose or be in your wheelhouse, so they're giving it to you, so you might wind up arguing for a guy you don't actually believe in, but that's just the luck of the draw. So that kind of thing, it's not my favorite, but hey, it's just like I guess it's like attorneys, right? You don't get to choose the case, you just got to argue it.
That's it, man. Yeah, and with that, man, we gonna leave on that note, man. You don't get to choose a case; you just got to argue it. Man, I'm gonna be tuning into the debate series, obviously, man, to support my homeboys in it, without a doubt. And obviously, I need to pay attention to it because I gotta fill out these goddamn brackets that y'all gonna be sending into this email trying to win this money. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't want to take derail too long, but you said something earlier that I felt like I should touch on about you being into gambling, right? That is the one part of like boxing that didn't ever pay a lot of attention to. I do like all kinds of business of boxing, fights, breakdown, all kinds of stuff. But the betting, I don't gamble. So I was just I don't know. It came a little bit as a shock that like how much of the sport is fueled by gambling, but at the same time it's more like I'm shocked to be shocked. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
Smoke, tripping, I'm gonna tell you something. Smoke, and I'm saying I'm making my channel a little bit different than everybody else's channel. Obviously, we have the bracket up for the pool play. That's gonna be a cash prize. And also, man, I am going to be doing live streams talking about the plus and minuses, what you get for a knockout, my opinions and my predictions. Some things I do when I get a chance to gamble on boxing matches. So I'm gonna be doing some of that stuff on this channel as well, man. For people who do go to Las Vegas or Jersey and you bet on fights, you understand what I'm saying? So we're gonna have a segment on the fix where we talk about gambling, betting, and all that good stuff, man. So I'm trying to make the channel, man, a little bit different, man, a little bit outside of the box from what we traditionally are used to listening to on YouTube. Because let's be honest about it. A lot of this shit get extra fucking redundant, man. We all talking about the same topics. We may all have different opinions. We may have a lot of the same opinions, but at the end of the day, a lot of this shit is just more of the same shit, just coming from a different person. So within this channel, man, I'm gonna try to do things a little bit different, talk about different topics, and we don't limit it just to boxing over here.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I've literally never been to a bookmaker place to bet at one. Like I maybe 2023 that'll change, but yeah, to date, this is just kind of a new arena for me. Like I've done wagers for like a person, like person to person, but not like through bookies and odds and prop bets and parlays and all that other stuff.
Hey,
okay.
Fill out the bracket. The bracket. You have seen the bracket, correct?
Yeah. The knockout bracket.
Fill the bracket out. Email it to me, man. I'm gonna put that in the safe storage spot, and I'm gonna have your name on it. This is Get the Smoke bracket. Obviously, if you enter in a tournament, and you make a bracket, you gotta have yourself going to the championship. I don't give a fuck who you got going to the championship on the other side of the bracket. That don't matter. But yeah, man, give yourself an opportunity to win some money, man, within the YouTube community. Make it fun. Make people want to engage more in the channel. Not just be in the comments. I get to see a different side of people, man. You know what I'm saying? Just want to make it more interactive. So this would be your opportunity to your introduction to now I wouldn't really say it's gambling, but just a chance to engage in boxing and win some free money. That's all.
Yeah. I like the back and forth debate. However it is, like how the structure, the participants, All of that stuff will probably always be changing in the YTBC, but as long as it still is a place for debate and not just for like narrative pushing, um, I'm with it. I think it'll always be like strength. I think it's like a very I think it's foundational to the integrity of the community is to have like these open kind of discussions back and forth kind of thing. So yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, just before I go, man, first and foremost, man, it's my boy Get the Smoke, man. Man, Get the Smoke been rocking for a while. But let me say this, man. You know, this YouTube community shit, man, a lot of people taking a lot of shit personal, man. You know, and it's unfortunate because, you know, we all got one thing in common, and that's that we all love boxing. But, you know, some people take shit too far, man. Some people don't take shit far enough. It's a lot of prideful people within this community, man. But at the end of the day, I think we got more things in common than we don't. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just unfortunate, man, that we can't politic like we need to because we all bring something different to the community, you know. So for me, I'm doing my thing. Get the Smoke does his own different thing. My man Wayne Talk does his own different thing. Hyplo does his own different thing. Zone 6 does his own different thing. You know, King G Boxologist, he does his own different thing. You know, this is all people that, you know, I've been rocking with for a while, you know. I just subbed to L Dub channel. You know, he doing his own thing. He just was at the fight this weekend, you know. So
No,
like I said,
LW is
man,
great. Like, yeah, it's like, see, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, there's just levels to it. That's all. Like, the guys
man, you
over
know,
there,
and
like,
that's the
you
thing.
got some, there's some good debaters over there, and there's some people, some good boxing knowledge over there. But, yeah, like you want the Haflos and the L Dubs and the Zone 6, the Phils. That's these are different kinds of resources. There, and we all, you know, the tent is wide enough for us all. Like, I don't know what the conflict is about. I don't even play. They get into all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But some of it, I think, is just like performative for, you know, branding and all that other stuff. I don't think it's that deep ultimately. Yeah, because I think everybody at the end of the day keeps it boxing. I don't know. Maybe people do want to like hook up and throw hands or something. I don't know.
Get the
Shit sounds
Smoke.
stupid to
Look,
me.
Get the Smoke. This is the internet. It's infinite fucking space out here, bro. It's nobody need to be worried about nobody taking up their space on the fucking internet. YouTube's got enough space for everybody. The shit is unlimited, practically. So you carve out your space and let a next motherfucker carve out his.
Yeah. And for me, man, like the YouTube boxing community is a very small community within like the whole grand scheme of things, the scope of things. Like even communities on YouTube, it's a really small one. Like, you know, you get reaction videos to rap songs, but there's more hits and like bigger channels than you get for boxing, right?
No, absolutely. Hey, I agree with you, 110%.
So it's just kind of like this is you know, it's the hobby. I try to like look at it as either the homies or just someone with opposing views. There's people whose like personalities and not really my cup of tea, but yeah, that's yeah, whatever. What I also have an extreme personality, so that's neither here nor there. Yeah, let's just talk about boxing. You know, point counterpoint, keep pushing. I love the I love the different perspectives, man. Love the sport, love these perspectives. I'm here for it. I love I love these round table guys. Like I said, it's a different kind of sophistication with the round table guys, and I dig it.
Absolutely, man. Hey, bro, like I said, man, go to the community page, man. Check out the debate series pool bracket, and go ahead, fill one out. Follow the instructions. It's very self-explanatory. If you can read, I think you can get it. If you can't read, just send me an email and I can read the motherfucker for you. You know what I'm saying?
I did have to get on my computer. Like, okay, so you telling my old tired eyes? You calling me? Yeah, man. I couldn't do it on my phone.
Look,
I did have to I had to fire up the laptop for that one.
Yeah, I just want participation, man. You know what I'm saying? Give somebody an opportunity to engage in something that they haven't traditionally done. The series is new, so I figured I'd bring something new along with the series. Obviously, KO's the guy that creates the series. Shout out to him. But yeah, this is just a guy that wants to create something to engage the fans, man, on YouTube. You know what I mean? So salute to everybody who came on the panel today. Salute to everybody who was in the chat. I'm your boy Phil Walker, man. I'm the Fix. I'm also known as the Ambassador. Y'all make sure y'all keep tuning in. And again, check that community page for the instructions. If you have any questions or concerns, just hit that email that's in that fucking community page, and I'll lace you up with whatever you need to know, man. Holla at me.
That's what's up. Till next time, man. Peace, peace.
Yes, sir.